So this is it. This is everything. And this is a very simple thing like moving your hand, or just that's what's happening. We are so used to have to be there, to have a body, to have a life, to live in the world, where there's a lot of things happening. And when you hear there's only this, it seems like this is also something. So you look for what is this? And this is also a very difficult thing to name. So I use the word this, but it can also be something else. Because you can't say it. What is happening? It's just what is happening. And what is happening is changing all the time. So it's always new. There's not it's not here and then the next thing. It's just always one thing. It's looking, it's sitting, can be anything. And when we are so convinced that there is someone, it seems like always there's also something missing. There's something not right yet. There's something wrong, maybe with you or with other people, with the world. And when there's something wrong, if there seems to be something wrong, and there's separation, there's you and the other people, or you and the world. When then you're separate from. You're separate. It's not from. You're separate. It feels like there's always two. There's always two things. The most known is the good and bad thing. So there's something good, there's something bad, and you want to be good because then you're loved, your life will be working, you feel good, things like that. So the whole drive is about feeling good or doing good or having the right choice or making the right choice. And that's the dilemma. That's you could say that's the suffering. The suffering is that there's always something not right yet, and that you have to make it right. And there's a lot of things going on about, am I doing the right thing? Am I not doing the right thing? I'm feeling guilty because I hurt somebody. The whole dream of me is about that. This message is saying, there is no one. There is already no one. So it's not even looking for, oh, here is no one, and here with Rose, there's no one, and I am someone. So I'm looking for not being someone anymore. That's the same search there. It's the same search. It's the same, like there's something not right yet here, and I think there's something going on there over there. That's right. So I'm looking for a clue to make that happen. There is no clue and there's nothing happening. It's just there's no me. There's already no me. Now, me doesn't mean there's somebody like Rose. There's someone, and she hasn't a me anymore. There is also no Rose. There's only an apparent Rose. Everything is apparent. So it's just energy, and it seems like it's real and solid. When there's separation, it seems very real, and everything is solid and very true. This is just energy, and it seems like a body, but it's just empty. It's emptiness. It's nothing, and it seems like everything. So nothing is going on. That's the freedom. But if that's only a concept, if you hear this and then think, oh, nothing is happening, so I can't do it. And it's just like a concept. And the me is using that to feel more comfortable or less struggling. But it's still the same thing. No, me is the strange thing is there is already no me. So when they said there's no me anymore, it's for the story, it's right, but in fact, there is nothing happening. So there was already no me. And that's the strange thing. When there's no me, it's also very clear there never was a me. So nothing did happen. The only thing is this, what is happening is just what is happening. So there is nothing changing. There's nothing more going more right. But the difficulty is sometimes I'm speaking in the story, and sometimes it's out of the story, because when there's talking about this, you can't name it, you can't say how it is, you can't mention it. So there's sometimes trying to explain in the story, and in the same time saying there is no story, there's only what is. So that's confusing for the mind. It's very confusing. And this is not about knowing or understanding or feeling it. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you feel it or know it or understand it, because it's already there. There's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong. It's just what is happening. When there's a feeling of discomfort, then there's a feeling of something discomfort. Can happen. It's not a better life. No me doesn't mean there's a better life. There is no better life. There's just life. And when there's just life, everything is what it is. It's just what it is. When there's a me, or you could say the whole survival system about trying to feel better, trying to feel more comfortable, trying to make something more, to feel more good or feel happy, then there's always something going on, like an agenda, trying to make things better, trying to do something. Maybe it's not that obvious, but underneath everything, there's lying that drive to make it right for yourself. Because when there's a me, everything is about that center. It seems like the me is the center of everything, the center of what's going on. So it's always about me wanting to feel better. When there's no me, it's very obvious. There's no center. There's not only no center, there's also no time. So there's no before and no after. So when I'm talking about that moment, then suddenly there was no me. It's in the same time, it didn't happen, of course. It's very obvious that there's only what's happening. And that's the obvious thing. That's the freedom. That it's already this. It never has been away. It's never gone wrong. There is no separation. It's a misunderstanding. There is no separation. There is only one. There's only this, and this is knocking your head or knocking the head. But it's not you doing it. It's just taking place. You could say it's an apparent world, it's an apparent happening, and it's just by itself. Life is just going on, like from itself, like a tree is growing. Everything is just in nature. It seems very obvious, and it's the same with people, of course. And the only difference with people is that there is there are brains, and they're capable of abstracting. So when there's suddenly the capability of a child that to abstract things, then suddenly it seems like over there is someone and over here is someone. And that's very threatening, because then the other person becomes very important. And then there's a whole thing starting like a survival system, and trying to make maybe the other people happy, so you feel safe, something like that, or can be anything. So that whole survival system is going on, and the brains are also capable of making a me on top of it. You could say it's a center. It seems like the me is the boss of the whole survival system. And there's also a belief, and that's more embodied also, that there's a belief about going on, like free will. There's free will, there's choice. So you are capable to make things happen by choice, and you can use thoughts to make that happen. The me, the survival system, and the thoughts have no power at all. It's only a dream. It's only a dream. That's the funny part of it. It seems like very important, that making the right choice, and it's just life happening. It's just life happening in a chaotic way. We are trying to make something of it. That it's caused by this, or this is the reason. This is the reason of what is going on. There has to be a reason. Why is that happening? Oh, I think it's happening because of the whole thing, the whole abstracting thing seems very important, so you can make your life work again, or more and more happy or rich or anything. It's just happening. It's just life going on by itself. So it's very easy. But when there's a me and the whole structure going on like that, it can't see this is it. There is something wrong. Underneath everything, there's that very, very strong, no, it's not a belief, it's energetic, like there's something wrong, and we have to make it right. So when they're saying this is it, this is already it, there's nothing wrong, by that whole survival state, it can't be heard. It always makes something else of it. Because it's not only maybe in the mind you say, oh, that's good, yeah, because I know everything is okay and things like that. But underneath, there's some feeling, something going on, like this can't be it. It has to be da 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 da. So this is also threatening for me, or for that whole survival system. And there can be a lot of fear going on. There can be anger about what's being said. It also can be like accepting it, but underneath there's something else undermining it, because it can't be accepted. Me is the feeling there's something not right. So accepting it, that doesn't make sense. It can't. In maybe the higher me says, oh yeah, that's right, and there's something beneath there, the lower part, that's not accepting it at all. And it doesn't matter. It doesn't need to accept it. It doesn't matter. There's no need to accept it, to do something with it, because what is happening, if it's our thoughts about I don't understand, or I will accept it, then those are thoughts. It's just thoughts. Thoughts don't have any meaning. They don't have any power, but just thoughts. That can happen. We think they have a reason, they have content, they are important, maybe. But when that's happening, that's happening. Nothing is wrong. It's just what's happening. And the struggle is maybe more like when there's something going on and you think, oh, I don't want this. Then there's a struggle to make it right. And then maybe the suffering also begins, because it's struggling to try to make it right and it doesn't work, or somebody else doesn't listen to you, or pain is going on. When there's pain, there's just pain. It's not your pain. It's not because of something. It's just pain. It's a sensation somewhere. It's not even in the body. We're so convinced that everything, what is felt, is in the body, felt in the body. The body isn't real. It's just energy. So the feeling, the sensation can be in space somewhere. So it's not your feeling, but it's not even the feeling in the body. It's just feeling, the sensation going on. And the sensation, to make it even worse, is there and it's not there in the same time. It's only an appearance. So this can't be understood. It's very weird. It's even amazing that people want to listen to it, because it's so weird. It's so outside the normal way of thinking in the world. So Maybe there are some questions about it, and please go with any question. If there are questions about your life not working, please do. It doesn't matter. Every question is a good question. So please say or share what you want. And you can unmute yourself and say something or not say something. Doesn't matter.
I would like to share something.
Okay.
Hi.
Hi.
My name is Montserrat. We talked once already.
Yeah.
Hello, everyone.
Hi. Yeah. Hi.
So, well, in the context of your introduction, I guess it doesn't make too much sense that I explain like all my background, who I am or whatever. But I have something to share because, I've been like resonating with these teachings or these points of views, ideas of life, etc., philosophies, however we want to call it. For, I think 2 or 3 years already. But yeah, I don't know. There was always this intuition that there's something true there. There's something right about it, etc. But that's it. Like I never really devoted too much time, energy, whatever, nothing. Just kind of like resonated every like again and again. Also, I had never ever taken like any mind altering substances of any sort. Like no, not even like I haven't even smoked like a normal cigarette in my life. So like nothing like induced or something like that. But this past week, very randomly, like on Wednesday or Thursday, I think Wednesday, my boyfriend asked me if I would want to try mushrooms because we live in Amsterdam. Not mushrooms. What are the things that are legal here? The truffles, right? Anyways, like I've never had any interest in those things, right? So like we didn't have any plans on the weekend, and I go like, yeah, sure, like if you want, we can do it, whatever. So I kind of went into it like uninterested. But while so yesterday we tried them. He had already tried them, and while kind of for him it was like very much like, oh, look at all these colors, look at all these images, look at all these things. While he was having kind of fun with it, I had terrible nausea. So the only thing I could do was like close my eyes. And because every time I would open them, I would feel like, oh my God, I need to vomit. So I just shut down. And then I like kind of everything clicked. Like not like, oh my God, I had a trip, I saw aliens, I saw colors. No, just like kind of everything clicked. That like the best way I can put it is that everything was exactly as it is. Everything is just as it is, but there is no longer any weight whatsoever to anything. Like anything that feels anything that we think it's important, it's not important. Anything that we think is good is not per se good. Anything that we think it's bad, it's not per se bad. Not like nothing has a meaning to it, but in a good way. Like nothing has any sort of meaning. And like other realizations, of course, like came. Like I was kind of touching my face, and then all of a sudden I felt like, oh, it's not a face. It's not even like a feeling. It's not a feeling, because feeling is also just a label.
Yeah.
Just what it is, like the touch of it. It's just that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was trying to, like, that also happened in just a split moment, but I was like, okay, because at that moment I was crying, right? So I was trying to explain my boyfriend that I was fine. I was just overwhelmed by like the realization. So, but then I didn't say anything because in a moment I realized like, if I say something about this, this will make no sense in words. So it's just better to shut up and just also to not do it a disservice of like miscommunicating the things. And then also everything, like it made sense why some teachers just shut down, like they just go silent because there's nothing to say about it, right? Like these yogis or whoever that just like go for years in silence. It's because that's more accurate than saying any explanation.
No, I don't know if that's true.
Well, I just kind of felt like if I start talking about it, it still makes no sense.
No, but it even also doesn't matter.
Exactly. Yeah,
so
no.
You can talk about it, but maybe it's making it something else. It doesn't matter.
But
silence is not better than talking.
Exactly, that was the realization. Like silence or sound is not better. Like both are on the same level, right?
Yeah.
And I kind of so just for the sake of explaining it, I came up with like this metaphor of like reality is kind of like a sphere, and then everything that there is kind of it's there. But so like we are just like like that sphere has little windows, and you can like look inside there and then see all what's happening, but behind it or in there there's nothing. So behind it there's nothing, inside there's nothing. It's just kind of like a show. Everything is like a show that's going, and it will go, and nothing matters. It will just continue. So yeah, I don't know. Like that's kind of what I felt. And today it's still like very clear for me. Like I'm not tripping, I'm not seeing things. I'm just very, it just became very obvious. And I also was laughing because I was like, this is so funny. It makes no sense. I tried to explain it to you because you are the same thing. So like if you're the same thing, why would I even want to explain to someone?
Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah, when it's going like that, it's just.
Yeah, exactly.
Just
but then, so everything boils down to the fact that I do have one question, and it is that like, yeah, it's kind of like this. I like you were saying earlier, like it's so far out there, it's so different from any way of thinking things or whatever. And I kind of feel that like if I try to explain it may sound even a little bit arrogant, like I have this knowledge kind of thing, and I like so I have no intentions of doing it. So that's kind of like I feel like I undershared very much with my boyfriend of like what I had understood, because I thought I knew like if I say more it will just sound arrogant, so I will just stop. And so that's what I did. But yeah, I don't know. I just kind of didn't know how to cope with that.
Yeah, there's when there's not saying anything, there's not saying anything, and maybe there's some in some moment there's just talking about it, and maybe it's not understood, and maybe somebody is saying you're arrogant. People say to me, "You're arrogant." It's not understood. It's making something else of it. It seems like it's like I'm better than other persons or something like that.
Yeah,
when it's not like that, but you can't explain that.
When the totally opposite is the case, right? Because everything is like on the same level somehow. So it's like, well,
maybe what I notice is when in the years it's more easy to talk about it. So in the beginning, in when this happened and when that was very obvious, I couldn't talk about it. I didn't do some people, but very few. And then for years I didn't talk about that. And then suddenly there came some words, and then in the years you could say in the story, it became more easy. It was more settled. No, it's not like that, but to speak about it. Then it's more easy in normal words to say it. So now it's much more easy to talk about it, and also to people who don't know this kind of in this kind of meetings, but in just with other people, it's just normal talking. But that took a long time for me, maybe not for other people, I don't know. But so it can be like that, and you don't need to talk about it because it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
And it's also funny that just like, oh yeah, that's also just a story.
Yeah, let's make, and then the mind or the brains are used to certain thoughts, so they just come, they still come, and they fall away, but they're used to certain loops and stories, and when there's something not going on anymore to pick it up, they just fall away. But they can come, like I will be arrogant to and then suddenly they don't come anymore. Can be like that. Or something else, I don't know. But it doesn't matter. It's just it's happening. So
yeah, no, it really doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's really like nothing matters. It's crazy.
I also like how problems are, it's like a problem in a theater scene. Like in a theater scene, there can be a problem and everyone is working to solve that problem. But it's just a theater scene. And then my problems are the same type.
Yeah. And sometimes it can pick up in a lot of things. It's just easy, and then suddenly something is more, I don't know, how do you say it?
Intense, maybe.
Yeah, intense, like more intense. So there's something
like a theater scene.
Yeah, it's still there, and there can be feelings then, or there can be some sensations over there, or pain or sadness. But it's not because of something. That's the joy. That it's just sadness, but it's sadness without cause, without any reason. It's just sadness. Wow, that's completely different. That's when there's your sadness and it's because of this, and there's a whole story with it, and it makes it like a struggle.
Yeah. Well, thank you for listening.
Thank you for sharing.
I guess, I'll let the others talk now.
I have something to share. Oh, that's you were something like that. Yeah, okay.
Hi, Rose.
Hi.
Hi, I didn't want to talk too loud because last time I scared you when I popped in.
Oh, no, it's okay.
I have a question. When you were talking, you said, in life, it seems important to make a choice to us, right? We think we have to make a choice, and then our thought system is going on. Should I do this? Should I not do this? Back and forth. But in reality, what happens, or I'm asking, is the choice happens with or without our endless chatter in our mind. Is that correct? Does our chatter in our mind actually do anything?
No.
The decision will happen, right?
Yeah, it's not even a decision. It's just happening. Yeah. Yeah.
So it's like a movie is playing and our mind thinks it has some type of influence on what's going on, but in reality, it really doesn't. It's just happening.
Yeah, I don't know if I don't like so much the thing of there's a movie playing. I don't see it like that. It's just things. It's just happening, and it's very simple happening, without any reason or cause of effect or anything. Yeah.
But it really has nothing to do with us at all.
No, there is no us.
I have one more question that's kind of off that, but do you feel that you now can understand animals a little better just at all?
No.
Or the nature of them, what they do?
No.
Is it the same as us, the same exact thing?
But it's just what's apparently happening. So there are bodies, and that maybe the shape is an animal or the shape is a human. It's just what's happening. So there can be an animal and then it's walking. Yeah. It's just like that. It doesn't has anything to do with know something about animals or understand it. It has nothing to do with that. It's just what's happening. So maybe there's some love for animals, maybe not. It's not. There's nothing going on about animals. Just can be nice to see them in the trees, birds in the trees, nice colors, something like that. But it's just animals. It's just like a cup of tea. It's the same. It's just a cup. There. It's the wonder is like, oh, wow, there's an animal, but it can also be the carpet. Oh, it's the same. It's the same wonder. It's maybe not whole day like, oh, like that, but can be that. But it's just like, oh, everything is just going on, and there's no difference between anything. So there can be carpet, or there can be a dog, or there can be human, or there can be, it's the same. Without any meaning or anything more important or more caring, things like that. No. Doesn't have anything to do with this message. It's an appearance. Everything is just an appearance, and it's light falling into atoms and quarks and things like that. It seems like, oh, there's just a shape like that. That's it. And we make something of it and then have relationships with it. There's no relationship. There's just what's happening.
Hi, Rose.
Hi.
Hi. I've been resonating very much over, for a while with your video, the message of what you say, for a while, and I have a question and a sharing about something that happened a couple of days ago, and it's about having a story and cause and effect. So, or at least that's the way I can think about it. So it was a peaceful evening. I was in my flat, and nothing, you know, just enjoying people getting on towards the evening. And then suddenly I have neighbors beneath me, you know, in the flat, and they suddenly start having a party, and very, very, very loud, penetrating music, bass, and it suddenly I'm going crazy. And and it's claustrophobic, and it's raining outside. I don't want to go out, and it's night, and I have no idea, I have no control over the situation, and I don't know how long it's going to carry on for. As it happened, it went on for a few hours, you know, 1, 2 in the morning, and I ended up stamping on the floor very, very loud, you know, and they went a bit quiet, but it still drove me crazy. And part of the me going crazy was the story that that accompanied it. Was these are very, you know, these are selfish people. They have no consideration for me. I don't know what's in there. You know, do they plan to do this? Is this a change? Is this going to happen now for the next, you know, forever? You know, every day, once a week, whatever. I can't even stand, you know, just once a week. And even now, I don't know if that's it. Maybe it is going to be once a week. And I hate, you know, there are things I could do. You know, I could report them to the council, to the landlord, and all that sort of thing. So suddenly, all this resonating with what you're saying goes out of the window totally. I'm having this crazy time. And so something you said just a little while ago about that I could sort of see something, that there's just the noise, and then there's the thoughts, and then there's the actual people. I mean, even at the time, I was kind of saying to myself, there's just noise. There's no people there. There's no world. And it didn't make it any better.
No, it's such a concept,
Yes, and of course I'm looking at myself and saying, see, I'm just a crazy man after all. There's nothing. It's no help. And even now, as I'm sitting here talking to you, there's somewhere thinking, yes, it could start even now. You know. So. Yes, I don't know, you know, so there's this, and so it caught what you said before about there's no connection between the cause and effect thing. There's no connect that this noise and my aggravation and panic and claustrophobia, there's no connection between these things. It isn't that this noise is causing this thing. So that's difficult for me. Can you say something more about that?
Yeah, it's you can't understand this. So when this is it's about energetic. It's not when you understand this, then it will be only noise, or it's like then it's you could do it like a concept and you understand it and it will be better. This is not about having a better life. When there's a noise and there's picking it up in a way, like when there's a bee, it's picking it up in some way and trying to make something of it, so that you will feel good again. When there's the whole thing going on, that's what's happening. So it's not wrong, but it can be frustrating because there's a lot of trying. That's how me works. A lot of trying to make it better, that's the whole drive of me, to try to this is wrong and I want to make it right. It's the same thing and it's in everything. So this is a good example for trying to have a better life or trying to make it better, because it's wrong. And that's so strong in the me that you can't say to yourself like, oh, this isn't wrong, this is all right. And that's just a little layer on it to make it more comfortable of yourself. So when there's a me, there is that going on, and there's that string. But in the same time, there's a hearing when there's talked about this. There can be a hearing of, oh, there's only noise. But that hearing can, without you, can make something more less strong. But it's not your, because you understand. It's like it's undermining all the concepts. This message is undermining all the concepts we have about choice and cause and effect and things. And suddenly it makes less solid. It can happen. Maybe there's something else going on. You don't know. So that's the only thing this message maybe can do, but you don't know. So, and at the same time, it doesn't matter, because what's happening is just what's happening. But it feels like when there's a me, there's always trying to have a better feeling. So it's always there's noise. I don't want that noise. And then the whole thing's going on. But it's not only with noise, it's with nearly everything. It's a lot of things. Or the other way around is, oh, this is nice, I want more of it. It's the same thing. So it's always trying to pick it up and make it more or make it less or change it. That's the me is trying to change that, because there's something wrong. That's just the me. But the funny thing is, it's not wrong. But when there's just that whole thing going on, then that's whole thing going on. That's just energy going on without reason, without being bad or being right. When you're going to the landlord, then there's it's just energy. Nothing is happening. And it's very strange to hear that, because we're so into the story. And in the story, we're trying to solve it in the story. We try to put this message into the story and thinking, oh, no, I heard, oh, there is only noise. So you put it into the story. That's the only thing the me can do. Try to make it happen in the story. And this is talking about something else. There is no story. And that can relieve something, but it's not mentioned, it's not noticed like so. It's not noticed. So when there's something going on and there's falling apart some things, it's not even noticed. Maybe after some time you think, oh, there's something else. I didn't notice what's going on. It's a different reaction, maybe. Something that can happen in these meetings. But it can also not, it's an energetic thing. So you don't know. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel I'm dependent on the niceness, on these people, these neighbors being nice. But I can also say, well, there are no real neighbors.
Yeah. Yeah.
But in reality, the story springs to life when something's going on very extreme.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I feel I sort of I could make another story that there's no neighbors, there's just noise.
Yeah.
And I don't, as there's no neighbors, I don't have to worry if they're nice or not nice, or considerate or not nice.
But suddenly there comes that noise and it's all forgotten.
Yes, exactly.
Oh, yeah. Sure.
And then there's the story about time, that are they going to do it in the future?
Okay.
And
no, that's, the me is very strong in making things up and abstracting and thinking, oh, it will be forever, or maybe it's going on. That's the suffering. Yeah, of course. Yeah, that's how the me works. It can be very strong in certain situations, can be very strong. It's a survival mechanism. Survival to make you your life feel good, or you're feeling good. It's very hard working to make you feel good. It will never work.
So about cause and effect, that are these different aspects of this situation, are they all, nothing causes anything else? They're all separate things. So my craziness, my anger and panic has no connection with the noise. The noise isn't.
Yeah, but it's also
even
not
my thoughts.
It's not your craziness. It's just maybe sensation somewhere. That's everything. But the mind and the brains are so from the humans of us, it's so capable of making stories of it. It's so normal that you think, oh, I'm crazy, and oh, what's going on, and all those thoughts are real. They seem to be true. It's just thoughts, but it seems so true.
So there's no connection. There's no connection between the noise and my thoughts and my feelings and my reactions. They're separate things, or they're
not separate. It's always new. So then there's thoughts and there's noise. It's you can't say how it works, because then it seems like it's after each other.
Right.
It's only what's happening, and we are so convinced that there's time. So there's a before and after, and then there's reason or effect, of course. That's the whole abstracting, and it's not only in the mind, it's so embodied, so it's strong, it's very, very hypnotic strong.
Right.
You can't you can't unsay it. You like, oh, that's not happening. It's that's stronger than just a thought. It's not only a belief, it's embodied. So it's so strong. So that doesn't work. Saying to yourself, you can't do it, but you know it's noticed. It doesn't work. It doesn't need to work, because when that whole thing is going on, then there's a whole thing going on. So what? Then this can happen.
Yeah.
Maybe this happened here, but then there's a lot of noise, and then it's going to the neighbors. I don't know. Maybe that can happen too. And shouting.
I don't mind a bit of shouting, because I know it's going to end. But this is how. Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy what's going on there, and it's so convincing that you have to do it. That's the whole thing.
Right.
You are there, and you have to make it right. Wow, that's the most strong thing of all. There's no one.
So even for yourself, if something like this, if you had this, it's possible for you to have the same reaction, and going
shouting.
crazy.
Yeah, sure. I don't know. Maybe
you can feel crazy for a moment because something's going
very
on.
Unreasonable.
Yes.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yes.
Why not?
Okay. So there's no particular significance to this crazy time coming from me. It's just I don't have to think,
that's
well, see, I'm a failed.
Sure. That's what we think. Then we have to be a good working person. Like all those like teachers, they are very slowly and wise and never get angry like that. Oh my God, it's not life. It's just a concept. It's everything. It's everything. So this message. It's of course. It's not only this bit, but it's how can something be wrong? It's just life like that. Then there's a person going on in that. So what? So what? It's not wrong.
Even if the person is yourself, it doesn't.
Yeah.
It doesn't. Yeah.
Can happen like that. You don't know what's coming from somewhere. Can be anger. Of course, there can be anger. It's just life.
Yeah.
And this, it's also it's crazy. But life is like this.
Yeah.
Then, because then otherwise you could say, oh, this is bad and this behavior is good. That's what we have learned.
Okay.
There's no good or bad. It's just what's happening. So it's not wrong. Of course not. It's just life.
Yeah. I mean, about this embodiment thing, I feel like I have been traumatized by this, and it's in my. I couldn't sleep after this thing, even though it was all over, and I've had a little bit of trouble since then. You know, I'm gradually calming down, sort of thing. So that's like a bodily reaction to what's happened.
Yeah, it seems like, because you're still in the story. It's just
Yes.
when there's not sleeping or there's like then that's there. That can be there. It's not for a reason. We're so quickly making a reason of it. Because of that, it's still traumatic or things like that. It's a story.
Okay.
It's just what's happening. So when there's in the body, then there's, it's not even in the body, of course, but it feels like that. But when that's there, then that's there. No reason.
So this isn't about being peaceful.
No.
Right.
Oh my God, no.
Right. Okay.
Of course not.
And at the times I know I'm not when I'm doing that craziness, I know that I'm not a nice person.
No. So what?
No. Yes.
Oh my God, it's not being over. That's what we are raised, like being, we have to be nice persons.
Yes.
Oh my God. It will not happen. It will never happen. It's not, life is not like that. Life is everything.
Yeah.
It's just everything. God. It's not about a nice behavior. It's just happening. Then it's an energetic, it's magnetic. You could say like a magnetic field, like woof, this is going, and this attraction, and this is, it's going out from other side. So it's like an explosion, and it's just like that. It's just energy. And we think, oh, this is a reading, and we have all the time being this, and that's the whole story. That's the whole story of me. That's the frustration. That's, oh my God, it's such a dream. It's a misunderstanding, but whoa, it's very strong.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you for mentioning.
Good morning, Rose. It's Joey.
Hi, Joey. Hi.
Just in relating to what the gentleman said, I'm sorry I'm working at the same time, so there might be a little bit of noise. Yesterday I was on a seminar with Tony, the retreat that he's doing. And in the break room, there was a break room where you could talk to people. And it was interesting because, you know, as usual, people were saying in the break room right away when the meeting was over, oh, this is the same thing as awareness teaching. And I got so angry. I couldn't help it, you know. And I was like, I was just like, that's bullshit. And you just heard him say, and there was so much freedom in just, you know, yelling at people. And, you know, just, there wasn't anybody that could stop that anger, you know. And I realized, you know, we have that behavior of, oh, well, we shouldn't be in a certain way. But there was tremendous freedom in that, just being angry. Yeah, anyway, that's it.
Yeah, thank you. It's just what's happening. It's already this. It's already the way the body is moving. It's already the way there is what's coming out. Is it? It's just life making noise. It's just life saying words. It's just life. Life can't be wrong. It's just life happening. And it's happening in anything, in everything. It's everything. It's everything, and at the same time, it's nothing. So that's the weird thing. We're thinking there's only everything. There's only everything what's happening. And in the same time, there's nothing. It's just not there. It's an appearance. It seems like it's very real. And when that's apparent happening is going, it's just going like anything. It's just moving, or we're so convinced that certain behavior is better than other behavior, that certain how you look, certain look is better than other looks. It's like it's just looks. It's just the way it's showed. That's just life. Life is just like that. So there can be anger, there can be peace, there can be anything, and everything is just you. It's just temporarily. So it's just there, and there's something else there. There's no story. There is no story. There's no before. There's no after. There's no time. There's no story. There's no me. There's no me. There's never been a me. There's never been a center. It's just empty. It's just body moving. There's no one moving. It's just body, apparent body. It's also real and not real. This is not about understanding. It's just when you close the computer, it's closing the computer, is it? That's it. Nothing to look for, nothing not right yet. It's already it. It's already closing the computer. That's it. That's everything. Oh, thank you. Thank you for being there, listening, being here. Thanks.
Thank you very much.